Welcome to Oracle Hour. The spirits will see you now. Hello, my little mystics, and welcome to Oracle Hour. It is in love that I receive you and your good spirits here today. I am your host, Kaitlyn Graña, the mother of mystics, and I am a fourth generation Espiritista, trance medium, expert occultist, and diviner. I'm a practitioner of Espiritismo Cruzado, an open spiritual tradition birthed in the Caribbean, born from the crossing of Kardecian Spiritism, folk Catholicism, African and Caribbean indigenous spiritual practices. To put it very simply, Espiritismo is the belief that the spirits, gods, and other incorporeal entities have influence over the mental, physical, spiritual, and financial health and experiences of the living, for better or for worse. By building our relationship with our good spirits, we come to better understand ourselves, our callings, our destinies, our connection to our faith, to our planet, and to one another. In this episode, we meet with TaiBrea, the enchanting, conjuring creatrix behind Roses in NoLa, and the incredible good spirits who walk with her. It was an absolute honor to hold space for TaiBrea, and it is my pleasure to share our meeting with you today. Now, let's get cozy and let's step through the veil together and see what the good spirits have in store.
Hello, my name is TaiBrea. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here, TaiBrea. So before we begin, I'm going to ask you to relax into your seat.
Okay.
If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. And together, let's take 3 big deep breaths in through our noses and out through our mouths. Good. Those are good breaths. Keep taking those big deep breaths as I call in the spirits. From the east, who connects us to our mental acuity. I call upon the element of air and the good medicine, blessings, and protection that come from the east. Welcome. We ask that you assist us in facilitating a good and strong container for truth, clarity, wisdom, and protection today. Welcome good medicine that comes from the east. From the south, who connects us to our passion, creativity, sensuality, and sexuality. I call upon the element of fire and the good medicine, blessings, and protection that come from the south. Welcome. We ask that you assist us in facilitating a good and strong container for truth, clarity, wisdom, and protection today. Welcome good medicine that comes from the south, from the west, who connects us to our emotions, the dream world, the dead, and fluidity. I call upon the element of water and the good medicine, blessings, and protection that come from the west. Welcome. We ask that you assist us in facilitating a good and strong container for truth, clarity, wisdom, and protection today. Welcome good medicine that comes from the west. From the north, who connects us to our physicality, the material world, resources, and cultivation. I call upon the element of earth and the good medicine, blessings, and protection that come from the north. Welcome. We ask that you assist us in facilitating a good and strong container for truth, clarity, wisdom, and protection today. Welcome good medicine that comes from the north. From above, we draw down the golden light of Creator, down from the heavens, into our crowns, moving down through our bodies, plunging into the soil, connecting deep into the center of this good earth. We welcome this golden light as it neutralizes all that does not serve us in this moment. We thank you, Creator, for your great dreaming and for our lives. From below, we draw up the silvery light from the center of this good earth, up through the soil, into our bodies, moving up through our crowns, stretching high into the heavens. We welcome this silver light as it neutralizes all that does not serve us in this moment. We thank you, great above and great below. From the center, we rest our hands on our hearts. We breathe deeply into our bellies. And we listen to the seventh direction within us. We thank ourselves for rising this morning, for meeting this day, its challenges, and its blessings. Benevolent spirits of the cosmos, our Father Sun, our Grandmother Moon, our good Mother Earth, ascended ancestors, wise and well, good spirits, guardians, gods, and guides who surround, support, and uplift TaiBrea Johnson. We thank you for being with us now. We thank you for your blessings and your protections now and always. We thank you for your wisdom, guidance, and truth through both the shadows and the light. We thank you, Creator and Creatrix, for this moment. And we thank all the versions of ourselves, past, present, future, and beyond, for aligning here now. May our hearts be open, and may we be ever present to receive. Okay, immediately, I kind of felt them here. I kind of felt them here before we got started, but oh gosh, which element do they want me to start with first? Water. Okay. Once I called in the element of water, and specifically the connection to the dead, this row of women came forward behind you. One by one, they began to appear. And behind them, more and more rows of women continue to appear, present behind you, with this intense feeling of tenderness, of love, of this deeply rooted affection, and kind of like it's kind of like the feeling of having a bunch of cheerleaders behind you. Like, not only do they deeply love you, but they are just like so excited by all of the things that you do in this life. Like, so deeply excited. Like, I can hear the one woman who's like at the front of them, and she keeps saying, "That's my baby, that's my baby." she's so sweet, and she's talking about how, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like, she's talking about how beautiful you are, and she's talking about how she sees so much of, like, not just her face, but her spirit in you. She sees so much of her image, and like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like, the best parts of me she sees in you, is what she's saying. The best parts of me are what I see in you. And she talks about how you are the jewel in the chain of this ancestry. And she shows me this really beautiful, delicately woven golden necklace. And at the front of this golden necklace is this emerald, and it's big. And she's like, that's you. That's you. And all of us make up the woven metal around you, within you, resting here inside of your heart. It's always with you, always present, always present. She wants to give me her name. Adelaide. Miss Adelaide. Yes. Miss Adelaide. But she looks at you. She told me you may call me Miss. Of course. Absolutely. But she looks at you, TaiBrea, and she's like, you may call me Mama. You may call me Mama. And, emotions. She speaks of how you pursuing the things that you are passionate about, you pursuing the things that bring you joy, that bring you pleasure, that spark your curiosity, that work is like elevating the ancestors. You continuing to prioritize the things that make you feel happy, that make you feel alive, that make you feel loved and wanted by this good earth, that elevates the ancestors. And she says that sometimes she notices that you can feel a little bit selfish or guilty when you prioritize those things that bring you joy. Like, oh, I could be doing something else for someone else. I could be doing more for other people. By taking time to do this, I'm taking away time to be of service to others. And she's like, baby, she keeps calling you baby. She's like, baby, you are in service. You are in service to all of us when you are in service to yourself. And I see her like squeezing your little arms. She's squeezing them just like so tenderly, just like longing to show you how physically present she is with you all of the time. And she shows me her hands, and she shows me your hands. And she says, when you do the things that you love, when you do magic, when you engage with the mystic and the spirits, she's like, your hands are my hands. She talks about how she moves through you and inspires you in the work that you do. She speaks of a long lineage of mystic women who see, women who feel. She points to her heart and her stomach. And it feels like that's where your psychic awareness rests. Like, yes, you may see things from time to time. And I feel like something she does want to assist you with is developing that clairvoyance, those prophetic visions. More like developing trust in those prophetic visions. But I also feel like your psychic knowing is activated in your heart space and in your tummy. That's where things like the little lights start to flash when you just know things. You just know things. And she even says, like, TaiBrea be knowing. And
I do.
You really are. You're like one of those people where folks can start talking to you and immediately you're like, this person's lying to me. And you're kind of like, do I keep this to myself? Do I say something? I feel like sometimes your face or your eyes says something even when you're trying to like be polite. I'm the same way. It's a problem. I can't control it. But she's like, she doesn't want you to worry about controlling it or adjusting your gifts to be more palatable for others. She's like, I didn't give this to you. She's like, I didn't give this to you for you to hide it. I didn't give this to you for you to hide it. And she talks about how that sacred site has been not only helpful and interesting, but often life-saving for her and the women who came before. And she doesn't want you to feel like you need to hide this or that it has to be some secret part of you.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I want it to be more than life-saving for you. She's like, I want it to be life-changing. She says, I want it to be life-affirming, life-expanding. She's like, rather than this gift being utilized as a means for survival, her wish for you is that it is used as a means, as a path for thriving. She's showing me playing cards, and she talks about how she reads omens as well, like omens out in the world around her. She pays attention to things like a shift in the weather, a change in animals' behavior, a change in the way a plant is growing or not growing. She pays attention to natural omens, but she also gets insight from playing cards. And her deck is blue. It looks like the blue bicycle deck. That's the one she likes to work with, and you can tell that the edges are well worn. She asked me to ask her what card represents her, and she says it's the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts. Naturally. I invite you to consider placing a Queen of Hearts card in your ancestral altar or ancestral shrine, wherever it is you keep your sacred objects, just as a physical connection to Miss Adelaide to help strengthen your relationship, but also help strengthen that knowing that she is present and by your side, and most importantly, on your side through everything.
I will. It's so beautiful.
There are other guides here, but Miss Adelaide wants to know if you have any questions for her before the other spirits begin sharing with you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you. Like, this is beautiful. I kind of experienced a strange situation. Of course, she knows what I'm talking about this morning. And I just kind of want a little guidance on that situation with like losing my job. And it's kind of like, although I'm manifesting moving forward, it's like the 3D physical reality is kind of like stuff is just kind of falling apart, you know?
She's like, baby. The way she calls you baby. It's just, it's so sticky and sweet. But she said, baby. Like, you are a magician. You are a conjurer. And she wants you to keep this in mind as you are in pursuit of what's next. She's talking about how the paths that man lays out in front of us intentionally create obstacles for us from finding our successes. And she says, yes, we must engage with the game, but you have a sleight of the hand. She's like, but you have a sleight of the hand. You have the ability to call in the good spirits, and enchant and create what it is that you desire. And she's showing me this wooden table, and there's like a mortar and pestle. There's like herbs stacked everywhere. It's kind of messy. There's kind of like white powder. I don't know if it's flour or cascarilla or even like kaolin clay. There's other powders over here, red, black. And she's like showing me the magician card. And one of the lessons of the magician card is that not only are we capable of creating the reality that we desire, but we already possess the tools necessary in order to do it as well. And she wants to remind you that when you arrive at that table where you cast your magic, even if you're not quite sure what to do or what to ask for, ask Miss Adelaide to come and move through your hands, and she will help guide you as you take a pinch of this and a bit of that and mix it together and speak those good prayers over your working, so that you are able to get access to the things that you want, and more importantly, right now, the things that you need. She's talking about how there's a process here. And it starts first with us getting you access to resource. And it feels like they're trying to they're trying to like hook you up with a gig, you know? Like this isn't something that you're necessarily going to want to do forever. It's not going to necessarily be the greatest job you've ever worked. I could retire here. It's amazing, right? But it's a means to an end. And I think the reason they're not trying to find you, you know, something that'll last you for as many years as you need it is basically what they're saying. And the reason why they're not necessarily trying to find you like another job exactly like you know, it might even be in the same industry that you were in before. But I think what's shifting is the perspective. Like this is my side hustle, even if it's, you know, 9 to 5, and living life and exploring my passions. That's my job. That's my purpose. That's my purpose. And your good spirits don't want you to just do like the mundane part of, I mean, it's not just do it. It's a lot of fucking work. Like applying, searching, filling out that same fucking form with all the questions that are already answered on your resume, if anybody bothered to look at it. Like exhausting. Yes. And she's like, but don't just do that. Also use your magic. She points to all the women behind her. Our magic. Use it because that is what's going to get you the advantage. She's talking about writing a petition, and on it put what you need. She said put exactly what you need. So hours, income. She's like, not so much working hours, income, yes. Because she's like, I don't want you to work that much. I don't think you want you to work that much. She's like, so let's not tie ourselves to some spiritual contract that says 40, okay? Especially if we can get you the dollars in less time. But dollars that you need, other benefits that you need, like paid time off, health insurance, all the shit that's like relevant and important to you. And also, like, what do you want your work environment to be like? Do you want to go in somewhere busy, somewhere quiet, somewhere you can make friends, somewhere where you can slip under the radar, clock in, clock out, and be done, and nobody even has to know your name? Would you rather work from home? Like, what's the kind of vibe? Do you want something that's more like social, where you get to talk to other people or talk to clients? What's the vibe that you're craving right now? Those are the types of things that she wants to see on that petition. She's opening a book of Psalms, and she's like, this is where it's at now. This is where
it's so beautiful. Like, I love it.
Like, that is your new, like, grimoire. Like, that is the spot. And I see her through your hand, like, flipping through the pages. I see her, like, flipping through the pages because they're so thin, and pointing this one now. And between spiritual workings that have more of a physical form, like crafting something, crafting a spell, I think those prayers, those incantations that we find in the book of Psalms specifically are going to be your like powerhouse, are really going to be your like wheelhouse. And I see you getting to a point where like you're the one people come to and they're like, TaiBrea, which psalm should I use so that like my boss gets what's coming to them? Which psalm should I use so that I can call in love or call in work or call in whatever it is, call in protection? And I see you kind of, you know, you're so young now, but this feels like good elder training. Like you are starting on this chapter in your life where you are building up your spiritual experiences, your magical experiences, conjure. She keeps coming back to the word conjure. Your spiritual experiences, your conjure experiences, so that one day when you get to that point of being gray and blissed out with experience and love and relationships. People come to you and trust in you and know that Miss TaiBrea will know. Miss TaiBrea will know. And she's talking about how, I'm going to cry again. Like, it is in your destiny to become old in this life, to get to live a life that is long and full and fulfilling, to get to live a life that is, when you arrive at those last moments, those last breaths, decades from now, you look back and rather than being flooded by memories of struggle, you are flooded by memories of joy, of satisfaction, of tenderness. And those experiences of struggle are drops in the ocean of like a beautiful life. And she speaks to how she's kind of saying like, that last job, you were done with it anyway. At least that's how she feels. She was like, you were done with it anyway. It's time for something else. It's time for something new. And she, along with the other ancestors who are present for you, are very like confident that they said our baby will never go without. Never go without. And between you and your rituals and your prayers and them and the good work that they do unseen, what you need will be brought to you. She talks about how starting to build relationship with her, talking to her often, whether it's out loud or through playing cards, she wants you to start when you can, because we all have so much extra time while we're trying to like pay bills and pay rent. But she's talking about how in the time that you do have, she wants you to start building relationship with her, speaking to her more often. And it is in connecting with her more intimately that you are going to start to notice the expansion of your psychic abilities, of your spiritual abilities. Like, I see you, like, you're very much you're a little bit older and you're very much in your your conjure bag. Like, you speak spirits into you speak spirits into things. You speak spirits into candles, into oils, especially little baggies, like little gris gris bags. I see like that being like delicious. Like, you are just
that's my
actually
thing. I love
yes,
making little bags.
yes. Like, you are actually too good. We are not worthy. Like, you are so good and gifted at that. And she's saying that, like, if you want it, this can be something that can ultimately support you. This can be something that people around the world seek our baby out for. If you want it. She was also talking about how she understands how, like, part of us might want to keep these gifts secret, keep them hidden. She said, that's okay. That's okay too. And then she's like, you can always use a stage name. You can always use a stage name and call yourself, Madam whoever. Like, that's kind of the fun part of being a mystical person, is that you can invent this side of yourself, this alter ego that serves the public and gives them what they want and they need authentically. It's still a part of you, but also protects that part of you that is soft and tender and desires to have that veil of protection over them. Gosh, TaiBrea, like your ancestors keep showing me like you like at this big, it's the big wooden table from earlier. And I see you now instead of her. A pinch of this, a pinch of that. Like the careful, slow intention of sewing some fabric shut. Um, Again, like when you speak, spirits come out of your breath. And like that is a fucking gift. Like that is a gift. And your good spirits, what they are here and happy to hype you up as much as possible and as often as possible. But I also feel like they want you to start cultivating that confidence in yourself too, because your confidence is reflected in the things that you create.
Yes. Yes. I have a, not to cut you off or anything, but
No, please do.
I have a spiritual business, and I've been sharing my gifts for a while now, but like you said, the confidence level will reflect in your business, and I haven't been consistent or honestly feeling confident enough. So it's like I kind of just been trying to get my business off the ground and sharing
Uh,
my gifts.
I'm glad that you've already got a head start. This is good. You've already
Hmm.
started laying the foundations. And something that I invite you to consider doing is looking in the mirror, which can sometimes feel scary. But you're so beautiful. Like,
Thank you. So are you.
it's gonna make me cry. Like, you are so beautiful. And I invite you to look in the mirror and say to yourself, what's the affirmation they're offering me? This world is lucky. This world is fortunate, is blessed to be on the receiving end of the gifts that I offer.
Yes.
My ancestors chose me. And reciting that affirmation to yourself. Affirmations are kind of like herbal remedies. We can't just take them once and then it works. We take them a couple times a day, every day for a month. And then it's once a day, every day for a month. And then, every couple days as we need it in the months to follow. And then one day we find that we don't need to say it anymore because it's just true.
Yes.
It's just true. And like you are a star. You really are.
Thank you.
Like you were born to shine, to be witnessed, and to have everything you want and need. And I'm seeing like this bright burning star, and they're showing like a shroud going over it, and they're like, that's not what stars are for. Stars are meant to burn and to inspire and to guide. They're showing me like the North Star, and they're bringing it back to like the story of the three wise men. I love all this Bible stuff. It's really fun. They're bringing me back to like the story of the three wise men, the three magi, and how they followed that North Star. And I kind of feel like the Magi are a vibe for you. Like their energy, that like gold, frankincense, myrrh, magic, mysticism, alchemy, astrology. Like I feel them in your spiritual court as some of your spirit guides. Yes, yes. Okay, I'm understanding this clearly. Yes, yes. Okay. It feels like the three Magi are a part of your spiritual court. And
Wow.
like gonna cry. Like, why am I crying so much? It's rising. I can't help myself. But they're talking about how like we follow the star. So why wouldn't we be with you? Why wouldn't we be with you? So it feels like step one to building this spiritual business up to like what it's destined to be truly is by first taking those affirmations to build that confidence in yourself. Because the truth is, like, you're fucking good at what you do. You are good at what you do. And like all the spirits around you are like, yes, yes, yes. And the more that you repeat it to yourself, the more certain of it you become. And by engaging in that magic for the things that you need right now and witnessing the reward of the work that you do for you, you continue to become more certain. Like, why wouldn't I offer this to others? Why wouldn't I let this gift carry me? Why would I keep working so hard in all these other spaces when I'm able to build it up to a place where, like, I get to do what I love every day? What a blessing. I see you, like, on this porch. It's like an old house. And it kind of reminds me of the, like the shotgun houses. I think that's what they're called. And it's real narrow, but it's beautiful. And I see like young people like helping you repaint it, and women coming up to the front door, and you get up and you lead them to that one room. It's your kitchen, TBH. It's your kitchen. And you like pull things down the shelves and give it to them, and they give you money and thank you. And like, you really are a pillar of the community in this work that you do, a pillar of the community. People all around know your name and know that they can trust you. And we really are entering into this season. We've been in it for a while, where there's so much saturation of like magic and witchcraft and spiritism and spiritualism, and there's so much inauthenticity out there. And I think some people who are inauthentic don't even know that they're being that way. I think a lot of them do, but I think some of them don't even realize it. And like, here you are, born to lead in this work. And your good spirits are showing you that, like, if you've been waiting for a permission slip to accept that, like, you are destined to do great things in this way, here it is. But they're like, the truth is, you don't need our permission for something you were born to do. They're talking about how Miss Adelaide reminds you, like, let me move through your hands. We'll guide you, and we will guide you every small step of the way. Every small step of the way. She touches your arm again, and she tells you that this struggle right now, it will pass. She's like, we will get through this together. Always together. And she picks up this like lantern, she sets it on like it looks like your nightstand or your dresser. She sets it there, and she's like, I'm here. And she's like, don't be afraid to show your face to the world. Don't be afraid. She's like, they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. She's saying she loves you so much. She's like, all of us do. And they're like, we will not let you fail. This moment that feels like the tower is a time of transformation. This is not an ending. It's the promise of the future. And we will be by your side every step of the way. She keeps squeezing your arms, and I kind of wonder if sometimes you feel it. I wonder if sometimes when you're in that state between asleep and awake, you feel a little squeeze on your arms or on your hands or even on your like feet. I feel like she really loves to like rub your feet because you're her baby. She wants to just rub your little feet. That makes her happy.
So like right before you started to say, like, she was telling me like we're going through it together, my mind started to like slip back into the earthly stuff. Like it starts to slip back into the earthly stuff really quickly. So it was honestly beautiful to see, like, you pick up on, well, like, her pick up on it and her like bring it to your attention to let me know. And also I did feel her, like, just right before you said it, I felt it and I was like, okay, this is wait a minute.
Get used to
Yeah.
it.
It was like multiple confirmations of, like, definitely it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay. Something else that's coming up as we're wrapping up. I feel like smoke in particular has some sort of connection to you, like reading smoke, having incense burning dried plants or resin, like having smoke going is important for you and your vibe. Like it's important for you to like get into your like conjure making. It's important for you when you're like showing your face to the public. Like, I don't know, there's something about the shroud of smoke that's like engaging and it kind of like activates that alter ego side of you that's like, no, I know what I'm doing.
I have to light incense all the time. All the time.
Yes, it's a part of you. It really is. And I feel like you'll also start to notice that you're seeing spirits in the smoke more and more as you deepen your connection to these ancestors and your guides. You're amazing. Yeah, I already knew. Like, I was sitting here, so I'm like, what are they going to say? Because I knew you were magic as soon as I sat down to get ready for this reading. But to actually get to hold space and witness is really special. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm surprised that I didn't start crying, but I just kept smiling. Like, I just could not, like, I just kept smiling. Like, it's just so
Good.
beautiful. And honestly, I didn't even know about Miss Adelaide until you said something. Like, I've always felt my guides around me, but to actually like pinpoint, like, this is me, this is who I am, it's like it's a beautiful confirmation. So thank you so much.
I am so grateful to have been able to offer that to you. She looked at you and she was like, "You call me mama." She's like, "Other people, guests, may call me Miss Adelaide."
Wow. That's crazy. I wonder if you're picking up on my actual mom, or is it like, that's crazy.
She's, I would say, 2 or 3 generations back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that makes sense. That
She
makes
does
sense.
feel connected to your maternal lineage, though.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That
Has
makes
your
sense.
mom passed on?
Mhm. Yes. 2018. Yes.
Oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I lost my dad that year. Have you done an elevation for your mom?
This is so ironic that you're mentioning this because I had a very triggering dream the other night,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically from what I got from the dream, it was telling me to do more ancestor elevation because I went on in the astral realm. I literally had to do the ancestor elevation. Like, it was weird because I had to
Mm-hmm.
physically do the work, and it was kind of basically telling me, like, you have to do the ancestor elevation and veneration to them. So it's like, either you're gonna do it when you go to sleep or you're gonna do it when you wake up. But either way you're gonna do it. Either way you're gonna have to do it. So, like, yes, thank you for the confirmation because
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream, I want to say like 2 nights ago, of me literally having to go into the astral realm and venerate my ancestors and lift them up.
I think your mom is ready. I think she's been afraid to leave you. We're gonna cry again. But I think this connection that you now have with Miss Adelaide, it's almost like I can go now. I can go. So I would consider offering ancestral elevation to your mom. And maybe even you can add in while you're doing the prayers for her, like any other women specifically of your maternal lineage who need assistance. I would give them an elevation.
Yes.
And I feel like that's going to open some big doors because I am sensing like almost like an overprotectiveness. It feels like even the word I'm hearing from Miss Adelaide is like overcompensating. And so she wants your mom to be able to like release the grip so that you can do the things that you need to do to be great. I mean, you are great, but to be witnessed in all of your glory. It's time. And when your mom is able to, and as well, she'll come back and she'll let you know. Do you have any questions for me before we close our time together?
No, it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. Thank you
I'm
so
so
much.
happy. Thank you. I can't wait to see all of the incredible things you do, TaiBrea. I will be here eagerly witnessing, cheering you on. You're amazing. Signing up for the Gris bag as soon as they're available.
Thank you.
um,
Thank you.
is your spiritual business like? Is it online? Is it something we can tell only if you're comfortable? Like tell people about,
So
or
I have my Instagram, Roses and NoLa, and I'm gonna be creating my website soon. So I will have
okay.
everything posted up. And this reading kind of just gave me that extra boost of like, you're doing the right thing. Keep
You
going.
are. You are. Okay, Roses and NoLa. And would you like me to include that info in the show notes so
Yes.
that folks. Okay, good. Then I shall. All right, my dear. Before I let you go, I'm going to say a little prayer to close our circle.
Thank you.
On behalf of myself, Kaitlyn, and my good spirits, we thank you, TaiBrea, and your good spirits for being in attendance here today. Good spirits, we thank you for your blessings, your protection, your wisdom, your encouragement. We thank you, Creator and Creatrix, for this moment. And we thank all the versions of ourselves who gathered here today to receive. It is in love that we received you, TaiBrea, and your spirits in this circle. And it is in love that we return your energy and your spirits to you now. Ooh, there they go. Thank you
That
so
was
much. This was
beautiful.
beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It was incredible to sit with TaiBrea today. As I mentioned in Chalp's episode, it is such an incredible experience to be able to hold space and bear witness to folks who already have a relationship and understanding of their spirituality and mysticism. And goodness, I'm kind of without words, which is so rare. But before I just first have to thank TaiBrea and her good spirits for allowing me to be present and to facilitate that experience for all of them. And before we go, I want to offer y'all a quick little reading from Offerings Oracle. For those of you who aren't familiar, Offerings Oracle is a 33 card oracle deck dedicated to cultivating right relationship with the good spirits who support us. This deck is available on my website, www.motherofmystics.com. Let's see what the good spirits have to say today. Cut the deck. Okay. Boom. The card I pulled for us today is prayer. And I feel like, this is quite fitting because so much of what TaiBrea's spirits expressed is that there is potency and power in her voice. There is the gift of creation that comes through her words. And I find that often when we consider the concept of prayer, we're sometimes brought back to, you know, little senoras gathered in a circle, or little white ladies gathered in a circle saying their prayers to white Jesus, asking for terrible things, hopefully nice things. But I mean, this is America, right? LOL. But I think that idea of prayer can sometimes like cause a little distaste in our mouth around the idea. But prayer is one way, one spiritual method of helping us to regulate our nervous systems. It's evident by praying the rosary, that gentle and consistent repetition over and over and over again. It helps to soothe us, to calm us, to ground us. That consistent repetition of words also helps to open us up and enter into trance state. And within this state, our magic is most potent. Our ability to call in what we desire and bring it into the world physically in front of us is amplified when we are in trance state. And the good spirits are inviting us to remember to engage in prayer consistently, regularly. There's so much that we may want and need in this life, be it greater access to resource, access to community, to love, to friendship, to opportunity, whatever it may be. Our prayers do possess the power and potency in order to bring those things that we desire into our lives. But we must do the labor, commit to the labor of showing up and saying those words out loud often. Something else that came through during today's reading was that affirmations aren't just you take them once and then it's done. The same, I believe, can be said with prayer, especially when we want something really big or something that feels impossible or out of reach. We can't just say our prayers once and hope that it's done. We need to cultivate a practice of prayer in order for those words to be effective. I think a simple prayer practice that one can begin engaging with is night-night prayers. Every night before I tuck my children, well, as I am tucking my children into bed, I say, Mother Mary and all of our good mother and grandmother spirits, bless, insert baby's name here, and protect them and carry them off to good sleep and good dreams and bring them home safe in their bed to me. By offering this prayer, we are recognizing the good spirits who are around us. We are giving our consent to them to intercede in the dream world, to bring us their protection and safety. We are offering them recognition and gratitude for the work that they do. And by doing it consistently every single night, we're building a relationship with those spirits who support us. You can use prayers that are already written. It took me a while to feel comfortable with engaging with Catholic prayers and the Bible, but you don't have to. You can use, I mean, not everybody grew up Catholic, lol. You can use prayers from your own ancestral or cultural spiritual practices. You can write your own prayers. You can use those prayers you already know as templates and insert language that makes more sense for you, that is more aligned for you. You can do poetry. You can create found poems from books and novels that help you. You can take passages from books that excite you, or even from songs, and turn those into prayers. But I think our good spirits want to remind us that when it feels like there's nothing else that we can do, when we arrive at that point of what the fuck, that 7 of Cups paralysis of I don't know how to move forward in this moment, an action that we can take is to pray. Well, my darlings, thank you so much for joining me for this week's Oracle Hour. It is in love that I received you and your spirits in this circle, and it is in love that I return your energy and your spirits to you now. Bye. Thank you for listening to Oracle Hour. This show is available wherever you listen to podcasts and for you to watch on YouTube. You can support Oracle Hour with a one-time donation or monthly contribution at ko-fi.com/Oracle Hour Podcast. That's ko-fi.com/Oracle Hour Podcast. And you can work with Kaitlyn by booking a reading, registering for an on-demand class, or joining Moonshadows, our membership community, all by visiting www.motherofmystics.com. This show is a Mother of Mystics production.